y'all? It's your boy Tevin Jameer back at it again with another episode of the Hate It or Love It podcast. And you know what? I was sitting here wondering what episode am I going to do this week? And I'm tripping. Y'all know I'm a very big Power fan. Y'all know I love the Power universe and everything. And next week, Tommy's show is supposed to come back, and you guys know I'm really looking forward to that. But like I said, I was trying to figure out like what episode should I do for this week, because I'll probably do like an episode review next week for Tommy's show. But what can I do this week? And I realized during my time when I was gone, not doing the podcast, they announced who's gonna play Young Ghost and Tommy in Power Origin. So pretty much this episode is just me giving my opinion on whether I think they're gonna do a good enough job. Do they look the part? Like stuff like that. This isn't gonna be too long of an episode. Like I said, I'm probably gonna start doing like more audio and like shorter episodes just so that y'all can get something each week. But yeah, so what's my thoughts on them? And before I even get into it, I do eventually want to do like a longer like episode kind of like this, where of course I'm talking about Young Ghost and Tommy now, but I probably want to do like my own fan casting for like who should play like other characters in Power Origins. So maybe I'll sit down one day, really think about like, this actor would probably do really good as young Angela, or this actor would do good as young Tasha, or if Zion is going to be in the mix, because if they're going to introduce him in book 2, I would really hope like that they would expand on his character more in Origins if he knew Ghost and Tommy. But either way, I'm getting beside myself. Maybe one day I might want to do like a fan casting, because I'd be seeing a lot of those on TikTok, and I think that would be like a fun episode to do. But all right, y'all, enough talking, enough explaining, let's get into it. And yeah, so they announced, I think it was like early September they announced that Spence Moore II is going to play Young Ghost, and Charlie Mann is going to play Young Tommy. Now, we already know, as far as other characters, like we know Mekhi Curtis is coming back as Kanan, which great, because I always said that Raising Kanan is my favorite spinoff of Power, and Mekhi Curtis's performance as Kanan definitely is one of the reasons I love the show so much. My first run watching the original Power, Kanan was my favorite character, so like to see him get a spinoff and Mekhi Curtis do the character like a lot of justice, yeah, I'm very glad that they got him to come back. I won't speculate in this episode. I'll use the fan cast episode like the speculate who's gonna come back from Raising Kanan. But yeah, we know that Mekhi Curtis is coming back, but I'm bringing up Mekhi Curtis because that does kind of go into one of my concerns with one of the actors, but let's get into it. So Spence Moore II and Charlie Mann, I got to keep it real. Okay, so upon further research, Spence Moore II was apparently young Creed in the Creed movies. Like he played the younger version of Creed, or he either played the young version of Creed, or either he was he was the younger version of Jonathan Majors' character in Creed 3. That's literally the only thing that I really seen, from him before this announcement. And as far as Charlie Mann, I haven't seen him in anything. And when I looked at his IMDb, it looked like he's not really too much into anything. It looked like he's more of a newer actor, which is completely fine, because Power sometimes put on like actors that are new or either doesn't really have much on their resume. So getting Tommy's actor to be a clean slate, yeah. But as far as Ghost actor, like I said, the only thing I've seen him in before was Creed 3, but apparently he's put in work on All American. Like apparently he's a recurring character on All American, which I've gotten a lot of requests to watch that show, but I just never gotten around to it. Like, I didn't really think All American would be really my type of show, but like the more, cause I'm really into Power, of course. I'm into Power and I'm into Bel Air. One of my friends in college was telling me like you should watch the show All American, because like the way you talk about Power, it gives off that same type of vibe, which watching the clips, I don't really think so. I don't think they're like very similar vibes, but All American does seem like something maybe I would watch. And then the other show I'm really into is Bel Air, and a lot of people say Bel Air has a very similar style to All American. So that All American being similar to shows that I already watch, and then Spence Moore the second, like that's one of the main shows I kept seeing his name pop up. It's like, all right, maybe I might watch it now just to get like more of his acting and stuff like that. But I have watched a few clips of him, and can I see him playing Ghost for real? Honestly, I just now I'll say this: in every clip that I've seen of him, he's done a pretty good job. Like he's a pretty good actor. I can say that. But do I think he can really tap into ghosts and stuff like that? And okay, here's the thing: I gotta, and this goes out to other Power fans as well. We gotta level our expectations for how much we're really gonna see the ghost that we knew from the original Power, because obviously we can see, like, the origin, and I'm not trying to make a joke, but like the origin of how Ghost started out, but like he's not gonna be that smart, like two steps ahead person that he was in the original Power. In the original Power, he was basically like a boss. He was an expert. Like, we're seeing him at the beginning of the game, so we're gonna see him make mistakes. And I do think this person can play. I do, from the clips that I see, I do think Spence Moore could play like somebody who is like really first getting their toes wet into this, but could eventually go on to be somebody great. So when I say can he tap into Ghost, at first I was really thinking like can he tap into like original Power Ghost, but like I said, this is like their origin, so we gotta give leeway that these aren't the characters that we know already. Like, they're gonna grow into that. So do I think he has the possibility of playing a younger version, like a more naive version? Maybe. I think so. As far as Charlie Mann, who's playing young Tommy, he is very much a clean slate. I tried looking up like clips of shows and movies that he was in, but I haven't really found much clips. Um, as far as next year, he is going to be in this new movie. I think it's called Chimpanzee or Primate. Basically, they released a trailer for it like a few weeks ago, and it's like this family that owns a monkey. He gets rabies and he like attacks the family that night. Charlie Mann is supposed to be in that movie, which the trailer kind of spoils that he's probably going to be an early kill, or at least we see his kill scene in the trailer. So it's like, I mean, we already know he's not going to be in the movie much, but I am going to go see that movie just to see, like, okay, is he just, I can even answer if he can be a capable Tommy, um can I at least see that he can act? Because that's going to be a really big thing. But the show is being show ran by Sasha Penn, who's the showrunner for Raising Kanan, and the way that he put his like amazing attention to detail in Raising Kanan, and the way that he picked actors that like you might not know like that, but like they're really good and they're really up to par with a lot of the actors from the original Power. I have no doubt in my mind that when he picked these two actors, he saw something. Maybe we don't see it yet because the show's not out yet. We haven't even had a trailer. We haven't even had a clip or nothing like that. We haven't really gotten anything. So maybe we'll see when more footage and more like promotion for the show starts coming out. But like, I feel like with Sasha Penn behind this show, like there's really we're really going to be in for something good as far as like acting wise and whatever. Now, let's get to where I'm a little worried, and I'm not going to say that I don't like these picks, but I am a little worried. As far as Charlie Mann, not saying that he looked like Joseph Sikora, but like I can see him being a younger Tommy, especially when, they get more into character. Like, they might give him a haircut for the show. They might have him dress up like in a certain type of way. Like, we need more time. Like I said, more stuff got to come out because really they don't even have set photos. I don't even think they started filming yet. I think they don't even have set photos. All we really got is like, just the pictures, like their headshots or whatever. So yeah, I could see a young Tommy being made out of, Charlie Mann. He doesn't really look like Joseph Sikora, but like with the right wardrobe and makeup or whatever, like I can see him turning into young Tommy. Now, as far as Spence Moore, I don't think he really looked like Amari Hardwick or Ghost, or I just don't think he has to. I don't think he resembles him that much. And I'm not saying that they gotta like look 1-to-1, because Mekhi Curtis don't look 1-to-1 to 50, but Mekhi Curtis does look like he could have been a young like 50 Cent. Especially there was this like one video that came out like when they first announced Mekhi Curtis as Kanan. They did like a video that more 50 Cent's face and the Mekhi's face, and like yeah, like that showed like okay, he doesn't look like spitting image 50 Cent, but he does resemble him very well. So I feel like that with how they got Charlie Man, like doesn't really look like Joseph Sikora, but like with the right amount of work, like I can see the somewhat of a resemblance. But with Spence Moore, I don't see no resemblance to Amari Hardwick. And like I said before, they don't have to look one to one. Really, at the end of the day, all you got to do is capture the essence of these characters. But it's like we really could have gotten a better version or a better actor to like resemble him. Now, like I said, it really comes down to the essence and the acting. So that's why I'm not counting Spence Moore out. I've seen people like straight up say they didn't like Spence Moore as Omari Hardwick. I have seen people straight up say that. But for me, he doesn't look one to one, or he doesn't really look anywhere close in my opinion. But just as long as he can, capture the essence of James St. Patrick, especially with the way that he was described throughout the original Power when he was younger, like yeah, then I can see that. Now, earlier when I brought up Mekhi Curtis and I was saying like he's part of one of my concerns, it doesn't even have to do with Mekhi Curtis himself. The way that they talked about Kanan, Ghost, and Tommy in the original Power, like when they talked about them when they were younger, Kanan was basically like the older mentor, like really taught them this is how men should be, this is how you do this is how you do that, this is how the game go. What gets me is that Spence Moore looks older, in my opinion, looks older than Mekhi Curtis, which he is older than Mekhi Curtis. And yeah, he's older and he looks older than Mekhi Curtis, but Kanan is supposed to be like way older, not way older, but like he's supposed to be like I think at least 5 years older than Ghost and Tommy. So you got Ghost actor older than Kanan's actor, and he looks older in my opinion. So that's really like my really only concern with Spence Moore, besides him not really looking like Omari Hardwick like that, it's the fact that he looks older than Kanan, and Kanan is supposed to be older than them. So that's why I'm really thinking to myself, I'm like, we need to see more, like we need to see like how they look in character, because maybe in character they can pull it off to where he looks younger than Mekhi Curtis and stuff like that. But like I don't know, that's the only thing that really concerned me. Like when they first were talking about casting, I was thinking they were actually going to go a little bit younger, like for actors and stuff like that, but they pretty much got like people around Mekhi Curtis's age. And I'm like, I thought y'all was going to go a little bit younger, or at least get people that look younger, like at least 18 years old, because I know they wouldn't want to get like minor actors, because that would really hold up like filming and stuff like that. But yeah, like I keep saying, like I thought they were going to look for like the 18, 19-year-old range, which actually let me look at their ages right now. I think Spence Moore is older than me actually. No, he's the same age as me. Okay, so 27 years old, which I can never imagine myself uh playing a like somebody that's supposed to be like a teenager at how I look right now. I can't imagine that. Let me see. Charlie Man. How old is Charlie Man? Uh Dang, they really don't have wait, hold on. Oh, Charlie Man was in The Watchers? I forgot that he was in The Watchers. Yeah, I can't even find Charlie Man's age. I can't. Okay, so I'm seeing some pictures on his IMDb of him with a buzz cut. I can see a little bit more of Tommy with that. I can see it. But yeah, so pretty much that's all my thoughts as far as like, them playing younger Ghost and Tommy. I do have my little bit of concerns, and like these are Ghost and Tommy. Now, like I said, when I first watched Power, Kanan was my favorite character, but not to sound like corny or anything, but like literally Ghost, Tommy, and Kanan are now all three my favorite characters, not even just in the original Power, but just the whole Power universe. Like, they're literally all tied. So the same way that I was about Mekhi Curtis when Raising Kanan first came out, like, you really need to kill this, I'm really feeling that about Spence Moore and Charlie Mann. Like, I'm really feeling like that about them. Like, if you're gonna play young Ghost and Tommy, especially since the whole universe kind of revolves around Ghost and Tommy, you two really need to kill it. And I'm pretty sure, like I said earlier, Sasha Penn, I'm pretty sure he went into, you know, the casting process with that thought in mind. And I trust his opinion, and I trust that, you know, Power Origins may wind up being the best Power show. Like, this one has the potential to be the best Power show in my opinion. It is really hard to beat the original Power, because even Raising Kanan, as amazing as that show was, wasn't able to do it. But if Power Origins, I really feel like this has the potential, especially since it's a lot of this. It's probably going to be most of the same characters that we known and loved from the original Power. So I really can't wait for that. Um, so yeah, that's it as far as my opinions. If you're also Power fans, let me know down below. How do y'all feel about Spence Moore and Charlie Mann being picked? Can y'all see them like being young Ghost and Tommy? Do you guys have concerns, or do you guys think that, you know, they're just straight up going to do a good job? Um, and like I said before, I want to do a fan casting episode. That's the thing. We don't even know how far back this, like, the timeline is going to go for Origins. Like, what is the timeline going to be? I do know that we for sure need to see the backstory of how Tommy used to get beat up in the neighborhood and Ghost protected him, and like after that nobody messed with Tommy. I really need to see that. But that happened like apparently when they were little kids. So just like how they did with Raising Kanan, how they showed that flashback of him as a little kid, and then it did like a little time jump to our current time. I need them to do that with like young Ghost and Tommy when they first meet, and then we jump to like now when they're getting in the game, or if they're already in the game. I don't know. But yeah, I just want to do fan casting for characters that we could possibly see in the show. Like characters like young Angela, young Tasha and Lakeisha, um, Ghost Dad, Uncle Gabe, like characters like that. Could we see Ghost's mom, who's gonna play young Kate? Like, I do want to run through and do, you know, uh fan casting like that. So give me some time, because I gotta look up some actors, and I want to try to throw in some that doesn't have too much on their resume just yet. So yeah. With all that being said, you already know I'm trying to get back on my weekly schedule. I think I found some type of resolution. I think I found like some type of resolution to how I can keep giving y'all episodes each week, and, you know, not slack on that. Also, I don't know if I said it in my last episode, but I recently got a new job. So that opens my weekends up. So maybe I can record on weekends, like find some time to record on weekends, give the episodes to y'all on Tuesday like I normally do. So yeah. With all that being said, like I said, let me know y'all opinions down below. And with all that being said, Tevin Jameer signing out.